Okay. Okay. So I do want to welcome everyone to our Spartan Accelerated Graduate Education informational session. Like I mentioned, this is our first semester where we will be accepting our first cohort, and application deadline is supposed to be October 1st or 2nd of October this semester. So I do want to introduce Dr. Alex Shifeng. He will be the coordinator for our SAGE program from the department, and I do want to give him the opportunity to introduce himself and also go through the presentation. If you have questions, please make sure to put them in the chat, or if you could wait until the end of the presentation to ask questions, that would be great. Or please feel free to type those in the chat, and one of us will be happy to answer the questions for you. Go ahead, Alex.
Okay, thanks, Ashwini. Thanks for your introductions, and thanks everyone spend the time come to these Zoom meetings and listen to about the SAGE programs informational sections. The full name of the SAGE, that is Spartan Accelerated Graduate Education Program. In today's presentation, I will talk about the following things. First, I will give you an overview of the SAGE programs and talk about eligibilities, so who can apply for these programs. And also, I will talk about the application process, what is the procedure to apply for these programs. And at the end of these informational sections, we will save some time for the Q&A. So if you have any questions about the SAGE programs, you can type into the chatting box. We will have Christina to monitor the chatting box, so we will answer all the questions at the end of the presentation. And also you can just ask your questions by directly. For some of the people who may never come to the SGSU, this is a picture of the Main Street. For the Main Street, actually, that is the main part for students' activities. A lot of students' events is here. For example, recently 2 days, that is homecoming events in the SGSU. So there have a lot of events, activities, students social in there. So that is a good opportunity for you to know the friends. Know your friends. On the left side, that is students' unions. So this is the place you can have the lunch or dinners with your classmates. That is also good social workplace. On the right part, that is the central classroom building. This is the oldest buildings in the campus. So when you choose our departments to study here, not only you can learn a lot of things from the nutrition, food science, food management, packaging, but also you can learn the whole histories about this campus, enjoy about the cultures in SGSU. For our departments right now, we have 3 concentration in the under nutrition science, that is including applied nutrition and the food science, dietetics, and the food management. And also we have can offer the bachelor degrees in the packaging part, in the packaging majors, and also as well we can offer the nutrition science majors in the master for master degree. And on the right corner, you can find that is the students' compositions in our university. That is very, very diversity. So if you choose our department, actually that is a good opportunity. You can embrace about the different cultures and learn from your peers. For the SAGE programs, right now we have 4 different kind of concentration you can choose, including about dietetics, applied nutrition, and food science, and also the food management. Beginning in the fall 2022, you can apply for the SAGE programs, and the first cohorts will be the 2023 fall. For the current applications, that is have the spring applications and the fall applications. Fall application, that is opens on the September 1st. So right now you can submit your application package. The deadline, be careful, that is October 1st, 2022. In the spring, we also accept applications. So the application that is open on the February 1st, 2023. Deadline that is March 1st, 2023. For the CG programs, maybe some students is curious why I need to choose this program. What is the benefits for these programs? Actually, there is a lot of pros and also you can think about. First, that can accelerate route to graduate with 2 degrees. So after you finish about the CG programs 4+1 in total, that is 5 years. Actually, you can get the bachelor degree and the master degree together. And also that is a seamless transition from the graduate to grad. So when you finish about your bachelor degree, actually that is a smooth transition to the master study. So there is no gap year between the undergraduate and the graduate. The benefits for these programs, actually, you know your faculties and the campus, know your classmates a lot. So that is a pretty smooth transition. So you don't need to spend a long time to know your classmates and all your peers, and also you have to know your new faculties. The third benefit for this program, actually, they can develop a strong mentor and mentee relationship. For the CG programs, all the students need to conduct a project. For the project, you need to select advisors. For the advisor, you will work with them directly. So this is a very, very good opportunity to learn from your advisor. So you have the chance to have the face-to-face talk, and they will teach you everything about from the make a hypothesis, how to make proposals and design experiments, collect data, how to write the research project. So in my personal experience, this mentor and mentee experience relationship, actually that is the best opportunity for you to learn how to do the research. And the fourth benefit, that is decrease the cost, the total cost by post-poly, saving 1 year of the paying graduate level tuitions. As we know that living in the Bay Area, that is expensive, save the tuitions as well. You can save the living expense. So this is a good way for you to save the monies. And also there is no graduate application fees that is required, so you don't need to submit the graduate application fee. And also there is no GRE and GMAT test that is required. So that is some of the benefits you can think about. On the right corner, that is structure of these programs. So for the freshman, you can take about 30 units, and the sophomore take another 30 to 36 units. After the third year or fourth year, actually you have the opportunity to apply for the SAGE programs. After you are admitted to these programs, actually you are spent 1 year in this part, and then move to the graduate studies. And after the total 5 years is done, you get 2 degrees, bachelor degree and a master degree. For the next part in this slide, I want to talk about eligibilities. So who can apply for the CG programs? CG programs, that is requires the students over 60 units of low division course complete. So which means that you for the 30 years students, actually you can apply for the CG programs. And also you need to get at a minimum grade C or better in the NAFS 106A and the NAFS 100W. Also, you need to maintain the GPA 3.0 for the CG programs. If you are lower than 3.0, you will be automatically disqualified from the CG programs. That is requirements for the master studies. The university level, they requires 3.0. That is the minimum requirements for graduate students. For the CG programs, once again, there is no GRE requirements required, so you don't need to take the GRE. Upon enter into the SAGE, students will complete one graduate level course in addition to undergraduate course and enroll in the graduate course in the 5th year. Here, that is my contact information. That is my name and also my email. So if you have any questions about your eligibilities, feel free to send the emails to me so I can discuss and take a look. For the next part, I want to talk about application process. For the SAGE programs, application that is into 2 steps. For the first step, that is also I write down here, that is step A, that is department evaluation and admission to the SAGE programs. In this part, you need to prepare a SAGE programs worksheet and transcripts, personal statements, and research statements. In here, I put a link in here that is to our department's website. Actually, you can find all the application materials you need on this website. So let's talk about all of these application materials one by one. First, that is SAGE worksheet. So this is the SAGE worksheet you can download from our department's website. This is actually give you a chance to review the course you already take, whether you are qualified for the SAGE programs. And for the second part, that is a semester worksheet. That is also check about whether you are in a right track for the SAGE programs. So make sure that you already take enough course and take the required course toward for graduation. For the SAGE programs, the other materials you need to prepare, that is research statements. Research statements, actually, you need to discuss with the faculty in our departments what kind of the project you can work with them. In this slides, I list about the faculty's informations. You can also scan the QR code on the right corner, get more detailed information for the research, the faculty research interest. And you can make appointments with all these faculties and discuss what kind of project you can work on with them. For the SAGE programs, the other things you need to prepare, that is transcripts. That is pretty easy to prepare. And also you need to prepare personal statements. In the personal statements, please describe why you are interested about these programs, why you want to choose these programs. So that is what we want to say from the personal statements. For the step 1B, that is a transition after you get administration to the admissions to the SAGE programs. Actually, you are transition to the SAGE programs. In this part, you need to submit the SAGE transition form. For the SAGE transition form, actually that need to be submitted twice. The second time I will talk in the step B, that is a transition to the graduate classified standing and advance to the candidates stage. During the semester, which students expect to complete at least 120 degree applicable units. Actually, in this part, you need to submit your transition form again. So which means you are transition from the bachelor degree to master studies. And also in this part, you need to submit your SAGE programs worksheet. So for the worksheet, that is that is a form trying to monitor your programs toward to graduation. This is the SAGE transition form you can find in our department's website. In this part, you can find that they have these two options, that is step 1 and step 2. So when you submit this form, please make sure you are in which stage. If you are in the stage 1B, so please choose this part. If you are in the step 2, please choose this one. So that is you need to submit this form twice. This is one example for the SAGE programs in the dietetics concentrations. You can find that in the first year and in the second year, you are taking some of the low visions course, and in the third year, actually, you are qualified to apply for the SAGE programs. In the fourth year, you can transfer into the SAGE programs, and in here, you can take some of the graduate level course. For example, in here, we list that is after 225 research methodology. You can take this course, and in the fifth years, you can take other required course and elective course and toward for the graduation. Here, that is some of the linkage that is useful for you for the application to the SAGE Scholar programs in the nutrition science. I list a linkage in here. So in this website, actually, they have all kinds of information, some materials you need to prepare for apply for the SAGE programs. And also for the SAGE programs, the other part is very important. That is a roadmap and the advising form. So you can also download from this link. Here, that is some additional information I want to talk with the students who are interested about SAGE programs. Students are not able to change their concentration in the fifth year, which means the concentration in their graduation in the fourth year will be the concentration in the fifth year. So you are not able to change the concentrations. And also the other things is a double counting between the undergraduate and the graduate curriculum has been approved. What is that mean? Actually, for the SAGE programs, you can find that this is some of the double counting course. You can follow my mouse. You can find it in here. Two different concentrations, actually, they have a different course that is approved for the double countings. For the dietetics, they list here list about 4 courses here. And for the applied nutrition and the food science, they have more course listed in here that is toward to the double counting. And for the food management, that is also list about 5 courses that is toward can be used for the double counting, which means you can choose up to 9 credits here that can be used for the undergraduate's bachelor degree, and also you can use that for the master degrees. So that's what we call about the double counting. So for this course, actually, that is counting about twice. Okay. Here, that is some of my contact informations. I'm the SAGE programs coordinates. My name is Shifeng, and here that is my emails. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. And here that is my phone numbers. You can reach out to me for me. And my office that is in the central classroom buildings, 106, the oldest buildings in the campus. Feel free to stop by to ask any questions. Right now is open floor for any questions. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
I do have a question. So I was wondering, so I'm currently enrolled in 100W and 106. So in that case, like I wouldn't know my grade until the semester is over. So would that mean that I apply in the spring versus this semester?
Actually, you can apply in this semester. Just before you enter the SAGE programs, you get the required grades for the SAGE programs. That is fine.
Okay, thank you.
There is some questions in the chatting box. The first question that is from a student, can freshmen be eligible for SAGE programs? For the SAGE programs, usually that is our third-year students or fourth-year students, they can apply for the SAGE programs. But for the freshmen, it's not eligible for the SAGE programs. The other question is how many students will be accepted into the first cohort? This is a tough question. So right now, we have no idea how much students will be accepted into the first cohorts. We want to accept more students in this program.
May I chime into that also, Alex?
Yeah.
How many students will be accepted in the first cohort? The whole intent for us to offer and get this program approved was to give our students who are eligible to the opportunity to get a higher degree. So we would highly encourage students to apply, and we will, as long as the students are meeting the criteria, which is a 3.0 GPA and minimum grade of C or better in NUFS 106A, the Human Nutrition and Lifespan, and the NUFS 100W, which is the writing workshop course. As long as the students meet that, we will try our best to take as many students as we can. But having said that, there will be limitations to classroom space, etc. So we are hoping at least 10 to 15 students in the cohort per year. I'm thinking around 15 to 18 students for sure.
Thank you.
And there is another question: is the application process a rolling admission? The application process there will be an application process in the fall and also in the spring. So the students who are going to be applying in fall will be either the third-year students, when a third-year student who is starting, so for example, if you are a third-year student and you are coming in as a first-time transfer student to San Jose State, like Sophia, you mentioned. So if you are in NUFS 106A and NUFS 100W, you can still apply, but you would still do your first graduate level class in the spring semester of your fourth year, like Dr. Feng mentioned. So you will be taking your graduate class in your fourth year. For the fall admission, fall application, you may also be a fourth year student as long as you're not graduating. You will still start in spring and take your first graduate level class in the spring semester. So so basically for the fall application will be open to both the third year and the fourth year students. The spring application will be more I think for the third year students, because they still have the whole fourth year to go. So that's how it will be. So it's not exactly rolling, but there will be 2 application deadlines per year. Nilofer has a question, Alex.
Hello, I have a question. I was wondering, for this application, you consider the SCSU GPA or overall university GPA?
For that questions, actually, we consider all the GPA.
So overall GPA?
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry, I had one last question. So because I was driving, I didn't pay attention. I'm so sorry. I was wondering, so because I'm undergrad, do we graduate and then go to the program, or I can just pick up classes while I'm taking, like if I fulfill the requirement, can I pick upper division classes? Can I get graduate classes alongside with my undergrad classes?
For these programs, you can apply for your third year or fourth year. So that is during your undergraduate studies. So you can apply for these programs. And also during this, when you're studying about get in about these programs, actually you can take some of the graduate level course.
Thank you.
Some students ask a question in the chatting box. about to share the slides. I will share the slides with you, so can feel free to use that. The other faculty asked a question. So the people accepted into the SAGE programs potentially start in the fall or spring, depends on when the students applies. For the SAGE programs, actually they are start about their SAGE programs when they get admits to these programs. They start from the fall semesters. Some students ask about the slides, link. The slides will share with you, so you can get access to the link. Actually, all the link you can find in our department's website.
Go ahead, Alex.
I just answer next question, so you can go ahead.
So Yi Zhang has asked, so this program is designed for undergraduate students. Can this program accelerate the process for graduate students? I am not understanding that question correctly. Yi, are you already a graduate student?
Yeah, she is a graduate student.
Okay, so this program will not actually affect anyone in the traditional master's program that we have at San Jose State in the department. So the SAGE program is only available to our undergraduate students who can apply in the third year or the first semester of their fourth year. This program is not applicable for and does not apply to the traditional master's students who are already in the program. So if you have a undergraduate degree from outside of San Jose State, you can apply for the master's program, but it will be the traditional master's program, which requires the GREs and all other criteria along with it.
Alex, I have a quick question.
Okay.
As part of the SAGE application, I remember one of the slides talking about the students in their application have to talk a little bit about maybe their research interests. How fleshed out does that need to be? Can it be sort of kind of vague at this point, or how much thought does a student have to give to their research interests at this point?
That is a very good question. So for the research part, actually, that is including in the SAGE programs in the last semester, they need to conduct a research with the faculties. So the purpose for this research statements is let the students to talk with the faculties, have a general ideas what kind of the project they want to work on, and what is the objective, what kind of data they can collect, and what kind of the analyze they can use, the statistical analyze for these programs. So give general ideas for about it. We understand that for the undergraduate students, they write research statements. That is a pretty challenge. So for this part, after they get into the SAGE programs, actually they have the time to continue to work, learn some of the research methodology part and the new course. Actually, that can refresh some of the contents for the their research proposals, gradually add new contents for their research proposals, so that is give them more convenient ways to work on the research project in the last semester. So that is actually that is a step by step. Okay.
So just having sort of a general idea of what type of project that's enough for this stage of the application.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Some students ask, who do I need to contact to talk about when I should apply for the SAGE programs? For this one, you can contact with me. So I will leave my contact information and emails in here again, so you can feel free to contact with me.
Alex, I have a question. This is Izzy talking.
Okay, Izzy.
Hi, thank you for the presentation, and thank you, Ashwini, for giving us an opportunity to learn more. I have a question about the research that the SAGE students will be doing. Is it the same rigor and expectation for the SAGE students as for our traditional grad students?
I can answer that, Alex, if you want.
You can answer that question.
Yes, Izzy, the rigor for the research project will be pretty much similar because the students will be getting a graduate degree from San Jose State. That is one of the reasons we are trying to get the students started early. So in their application process, if they have even a vague idea as to what the research area that they might be interested in, they can actually start talking to faculty. The other idea is also that there are several faculty who already have projects and secondary data that the faculty wants to work on. So the students can actually collaborate with those faculty, that faculty, and start there. At least get that lined up so that when they move into the SAGE program as such in the fourth year, when they are the first class they will actually take will be NUFS 295, the research methodology class, where the faculty and the student can actually finalize on the project. And what happens is, if you see as per the roadmap, that class is actually taken in spring semester of the fourth year. So which is the last semester they will be taking their undergraduate classes also. So the student has the summer to kind of, strengthen their and work on their project idea. And then they have the whole fifth year to work on their project. Because if you see the roadmap, the class load for the fifth year is not very high. It's only 9 units or 3 classes per semester. So that gives students ample time and 1 year to finish their project, which is very similar to what our current students in the traditional master's program are doing also.
Got it.
So
Got
the
it.
rigor will be the same. Yes.
Okay, thank you. And so, I mean, we talk very traditionally about third year, fourth year, but I know as an advisor, our students are not, their unit alignment isn't always consistent with the years they've been in school.
Correct.
So even though we're saying third year and fourth year, is it fair to say we're really talking when you get 90 units, when you get 120 units? Or
so
60 units and then 90 units?
Correct.
Okay.
So technically, when a student has completed 60 units applicable to their undergraduate program, they can apply for the SAGE program.
Got it.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
I also understand that more than 74% of our students come as transfer students, and several students have already changed majors, etc. So the students may not technically be considered juniors or seniors. They may already be considered seniors if they have 90 units, but they are moving into the nutrition program and applying for SAGE. So how that works is, as long as the student gets 120 units of applicable courses towards their degree program, right? So so any student who is in their last year, basically, or they're technically their junior year in the program is considered eligible. Anyone who is, so a student who is graduating that semester cannot apply for SAGE that semester. Okay, anyone who has a year out can apply for the SAGE program, basically.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have one more question. This might be a little crazy, but if we have can students apply to the SAGE program if they are outside of the NUFS major? Like if they have a minor in nutrition? Okay, so it's only for our majors.
Only for.
Okay.
The NUFS SAGE program has been approved by the CSU Chancellor's Office for the NUFS students only. So they have to be majoring in the BS or undergraduate program in nutritional science and any of the 3 concentrations we have to apply for the SAGE program. Yes, we will not be taking minors or other majors. They can apply for the master's, but that will be the traditional master's program. Any other questions? I do want to give this opportunity. If there is a counselor from a community college, by any chance, because that this informational session was sent out to all. So if you are not a San Jose State affiliated student, but you are from a community college, I would appreciate it if you actually, introduce yourself and ask any questions, because we are trying to promote this to even our community colleges at this point, so that students are prepared. And the other thing I also wanted to mention is that for the dietetic students here, it might be something that you really need to put a thought into. Not that the SAGE program is meant for dietetics, it's available for all three. And I think, I personally believe that a higher degree is required in today's times. However, the dietetics students might, this might be a reminder that the dietetics profession is moving to a master's minimum at the end of next year. So for those students, if you are thinking of getting into a dietetic internship, this might be something you really need to think about. Any other questions we can answer, Dr. Feng or I?
Yeah, feel free to ask any questions.
Okay.
Nice presentation, guys. This has been very helpful to understand how this has been sort of put together and what a student might have to think about in order to apply.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Alex, for doing this. And the other thing is, we will put up, FAQs, etc., on our website, so students can go see them. And the other thing also is, please feel free to contact Dr. Feng or me, and also the graduate student advisors who will be trained on SAGE very soon, by next week. So if you have questions, please do run them by us. And I truly encourage all students who are here, if you are eligible and interested, please go ahead and apply. There are 3 new messages here, so we can see if there's a question.
And I think, Alex, are you going to be at the ice cream social next week? So if students want to ask you some more questions in an informal setting?
For the next week, the ice cream social, I have a lab section and around 2:45. So after that, I will be the ice cream socials.
Okay.
But I will be attending, so people feel free to ask me the questions also. Okay. Okay. I think we are pretty much done with the questions, looks like, Alex.
Yeah, we are done.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We will be making sure that the recording is available to everyone who attended this meeting, and also it will be posted on our department website and email. So we will make sure that everyone who is interested will receive a copy of the slides. Anything else you need to add, Alex?
SAGE programs actually that is give you the opportunity to learn more and combine about the graduate student studies and the bachelor study together. So please use this opportunity to make you self that is outstanding in the market. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. As no one have further questions, so we will close the Zoom sections. Thanks for your time to attend these meetings. Okay, bye.
Bye.